Hi, today we are in the beautiful city of Ljubljana, Slovenia, where I have done all the research so you don't have to. Choosing a destination is only the first step in planning your dream European vacation. After you've chosen where to go, all the hours of research, planning, and booking begins. This can be frustrating and overwhelming. I will cover all the exact itineraries, logistics, expert tips and tricks so that you aren't burnt out before you even depart. This Ljubljana itinerary is actually part of the larger Croatian itinerary, and I will put the link up to that video right here. In that itinerary, I have you flying into either Ljubljana or Zagreb, and I have you staying for 2 days. In this video, I will go over what you can do with those 2 days, but I'll also give you some ideas if you have more time than just 2 days. Ljubljana is Slovenia's capital city, and even though it's a relatively small city, it really packs a punch. The old town is beautifully preserved. It feels like stepping in a living history book. It's not just the city itself that is stunning. There are some amazing day trips as well. So a little history. Ljubljana was originally settled by the Romans. They named it Emona, and the city grew into a busy trade hub along the Amber Road, which was the ancient trade route that roughly ran between Rome in the south and St. Petersburg in the north. Over the centuries, it endured the rule of various empires, including the Habsburgs, the Venetians, and the French. Its strategic location made it a coveted prize for many powers throughout history. In 1921, Ljubljana became the capital of Slovenia. After World War II, it became part of Yugoslavia. Slovenia gained its independence in 1990 when 88% of the population voted in a referendum for independence. After that, a 10-day battle broke out between Slovenia and the federal forces, and then a treaty was signed. I'm going to jump right into all the things to see and do, and I'll do all the logistics at the end of the video. Ljubljana's Old Town is really beautiful. The winding street and alleyways are lined with beautiful Baroque and medieval buildings. The river runs right through the town, and most of the attractions are within this area. You'll want to start at this square. It's a lively gathering spot where visitors can soak in the atmosphere and sample delicious local cuisine at one of the many outdoor cafes lining the square. The main site in the square is the Church of Annunciation. And this is a 17th century salmon-colored Franciscan church. The distinct color of the church is symbolic of the Franciscan monastic order. Its pretty pastel frescoes inside had to mostly be repainted after damage from an earthquake in 1895. The church is free to enter. In the summer months, there are sprinklers out front, so kids can run through and cool off. Ljubljana is famous for its bridges, and they are not just functional, but they are true works of art. The most famous is the Triple Bridge, which is right in front of the church. Originally, the center bridge was for traffic, and the 2 bridges on each side were constructed for pedestrians. Today, however, all 3 bridges are pedestrianized. Another must-see bridge is the famous Dragon Bridge. It is adorned with 4 striking dragon statues that have become symbols of the city. Legend has it that these mythical creatures were the protectors of Ljubljana in ancient times, and you'll see them throughout the city on railings and other buildings. A perfect way to enjoy Ljubljana is on the river. There are many different river cruises you can choose from, and there is also stand-up paddleboards that you can rent. The central market of Ljubljana has 3 different sections. It has an open-air section, it has an indoor section, and then it has a colonnade of stalls that run along the river. This is the best place to buy fresh fruits and other produce grown from local farms. You can also buy bread, pastries, cured meat, clothes, flowers, local handicrafts, and souvenirs. The different sections have different hours, so check that out before you go, but they are all closed on Sundays and holidays. Open Kitchen is a fun thing to experience when you're in Ljubljana. It runs every Friday from mid-March to October if the weather is good, and it happens in this square. And it's where chefs from all over Slovenia come and they make different food from all over the world. And it's a great place to get some lunch and enjoy the atmosphere. In the center of Ljubljana lies Castle Hill with the castle perched on top. You can climb up here or you can ride a funicular. Originally constructed in the 11th century, it received an almost complete rebuild in the 15th century, and most of the remaining buildings date to the 16th and 17th centuries. Initially, it was a defense structure and then used as the seat of the Lords of Carniola. The castle's ramparts and overlook tower is one of the most beautiful spots to overlook the city. The prison area of the castle is interesting. It lies between the outer wall and the natural rock, and the only way to get into it was to lower the prisoners down with a rope or chain. There was no roof on top, just a grate, and so it would let in all of the hot sun as well as the snow and rain. The castle now houses a museum exhibition on Slovenian history, a puppet museum, and a number of historical rooms. It also serves as a venue for cultural events, dances, movie screenings, as well as housing restaurants and cafes. There are a few fun and unique ways to tour the castle. The Escape Castle is great for kids. It's a fun way to learn about the castle as you move through 5 tests as you try to save the dragon. The Time Machine Tour has guests take a time machine through 6 different eras of the castle. At each stop, you meet a person from that time dressed in period costume who tells you about life in the castle during that period. Both of these tours take about an hour. They cost 16 euros if you just want the tour. If you want to include the funicular ride as well, it's 20 euros. If you just want to wander the castle on your own, it's 12 euros to get in and 16 euros if you want to include the ride as well. The castle is open every day from 9 until 6. The Ljubljana Cathedral, or the Cathedral of St. Nicholas, lies in the city center near the central market and town hall. It was originally a Gothic building, but was replaced by a Baroque one in the 18th century. The church towers have 6 bells in them, including the second oldest bell in the country, which dates back to 1326. Although the cathedral isn't overly impressive from the outside, the inside is really gorgeous. The beautiful ceiling frescoes, paintings, gold leaf, and beautiful pipe organ all contribute to a spectacular interior. There is no charge, but it is usually closed from noon to 3, so just check the schedule before you go. Ljubljana has many green spaces. The most famous is Tivoli Park. Tivoli Park has landscape gardens, walking trails, and tranquil ponds. It's a great place to get away from the city's bustle. The Botanical Gardens, located in the park, was established in 1810. It costs around 3 euros to enter, and hours vary, so make sure to check before you go. Ljubljana offers some museums that are worth going to. The National Museum of Slovenia offers a fascinating journey through the nation's history. It showcases an extensive collection of artifacts and artworks that span from prehistoric times to the present day. And it's also housed in a gorgeous building that's worth going into just for that. It usually opens from 10 to 6 and costs 8 euros to get in. If you are a huge museum nerd, there are some other museums to consider. There's the Natural History Museum, the Ethnographic Museum, there's the Museum of Contemporary Art, the National Gallery, and the Museum of Modern Art. I just want to say something about this area. This is an area of the alternative art scene. It was a former army barracks and is filled with graffiti and other artworks. It hosts art programs and club nights. A little word of warning though, this area can have drug-related activities and you may find syringes and needles, so just be aware of that if you decide to go. Ljubljana has many amazing day trips to choose from. I'm just going to go over a few. The first, of course, is Lake Bled. It's just a short hour's drive from Ljubljana and a true jewel of Slovenia. This is a glacial lake and it's renowned for its emerald green waters and the iconic Bled Island with its centuries-old pilgrimage church. It appears straight out of a fairy tale. You can rent a traditional wooden rowing boat and glide across the waters, or you can hike up to the medieval Bled Castle. There is a direct bus from the main bus station in Ljubljana to Lake Bled, and it takes about 45 minutes. Piran, Slovenia lies right on the coastline, and it is absolutely charming. It has a lot of Venetian influence. It is about an hour and 20-minute drive from Ljubljana. Its winding streets lined with pastel buildings is absolutely charming. Make sure that you climb the top of the town's iconic bell tower for breathtaking views of the Adriatic Sea and the surrounding Istrian Peninsula. There is a direct bus from Ljubljana to Piran, and it takes about an hour and 45 minutes. These caves are a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and they really are spectacular. This is a vast cave system and features an underground canyon carved by the Reka River, with towering chambers and a network of subterranean passages that have been sculpted over millions of years. Guided tours offer visitors the chance to explore these natural wonders. From Ljubljana, take the bus from the main bus station to this stop, and then it's about a half-an-hour walk on a well-marked trail to get to the caves. The tickets are 18 euros, and you can buy them ahead of time online. Prajama Castle is another must-see day trip from Ljubljana. This castle is perched precariously on a towering cliff face. It is 800 years old and carved directly into the rock. There is a labyrinth of tunnels, chambers, and living quarters for you to explore. There are a number of different ticket options available. Many of them include a tour of the nearby Prostona Caves with a shuttle bus that runs between the two. The tickets range from 19 euro to 50 euro depending on which tour you choose. So language. Slovenian is the official language in Slovenia. It is a Slavic language and it's closely related to Croatian and Serbian. You should have no trouble communicating though. Most people in the tourist sections, especially waiters and hotel staff, will know enough English to help you out. It is always nice though to learn a few common phrases and words. Currency. Slovenia became part of the European Union in 2004, so it uses the euro. The euro usually is doing better than the US dollar. Right now, I think it's about 106, 107 US dollars to buy 1 euro. It's always nice to have a little bit cash on hand, but most places take credit cards. Getting to Ljubljana. So Ljubljana has an international airport. It's called this. It's about 16 miles northwest of the city center. Several major European airlines offer direct flights to Ljubljana from other major hubs across the continent. There are no direct flights from Ljubljana to North America. There is a bus that runs from the airport into the city center. It costs about 4 euros and takes around 45 minutes. You can buy tickets at the kiosk in front of the terminal, or you can also buy them directly from the bus driver. If you need to store your luggage somewhere, there are lockers at the bus station in Ljubljana, and it costs 4 euros for the day per item. Taxis, of course, are always available. They cost about 30 euros depending on where you're going, but that's a great option as well. You can get to Ljubljana easily by train as well. Its train system is well integrated into the European train system, and so there are many direct trains to hubs in the rest of Europe. The main train station is right in the city center, and so that makes it easy. The bus station is right near the city center as well, and you can get buses to Ljubljana from many of the major European cities. Getting to Ljubljana by car is easy. The highway systems are well maintained, and it's easy to drive in Slovenia. Getting around the city is really easy. Honestly, most of the things you're going to want to see are within walking distance, and much of the city center is pedestrianized. So you just park your car if you have one and wander around. You probably won't need public transportation, but if you do, there is a good public transportation system. It's called LPP, and if you need to use it, purchase the Urbana card. You can buy these cards at ticket offices as well as tourist information centers. The easiest way to get them though is going to be at a magazine or a newspaper stand, and those are all over the city. It costs 2 euros for a card, and then you top it up with whatever money you need for your rides. Each ride is 130 euro per way, and that is good for as many buses that you need to take to make the journey. Multiple people can use a card. If you get on a bus, you just tell the driver how many people are using the card, and they will use a special kiosk to punch it in. Ljubljana is delightful to explore by bike, and there is a bike sharing program there. It's called this, and it's extremely cheap. You pay 1 euro to register on the app, and then it's free for the first hour, 1 euro for the second, 2 euro for the third, and 4 euro for each additional hour. If you want to ride for longer but don't want to pay, you just return the bike after the first hour, wait 5 minutes, and then rent another bike. You get these bikes from self-service stations all across the city. When is the best time to visit? Ljubljana has something to offer the visitor all times of year. The best time to go though is on the shoulder season where the temperatures are a little bit milder and the crowds are thinner. Winter can be quite cold with temperatures often dropping below zero, but the season offers a unique charm with Ljubljana's Christmas market, where there are stalls that have gifts and traditional food, and there are concerts and other performances as well as skating rinks, and that all adds to the festivities and makes it a really fun time to be there. Slovenia has some really delicious traditional foods that you need to try while you're there. Carniola sausage is delicious. Jota, I think is how you say it, is a thick soup made of sauerkraut, beans, and smoked pork. Potica is a sweet and nutty roll, which dates back to the 16th century. And also try this, I can't even try to say it. It's a layered pastry dessert that's absolutely delicious. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe. Also, if you're interested in us custom designing the perfect itinerary for you, please contact us by going to our website at eurotravelsbydesign.com.